So we added a little bit of code here, and what did we do? We created the screen. We made this variable called clock, and it's a type clock variable. Um, and then we have this Boolean variable called play, which we set equal to true. And so the reason why we have the play variable is so that we can have this while loop. And this while loop is while play. So typically this Boolean expression here is evaluated to either true or false. But in this case, the variable is actually a Boolean variable, so it's equal to true or false, which means that it doesn't need to be calculated. It doesn't need to be evaluated. So this while loop is basically while forever, right? So while play is true, keep on doing the body of the loop. And so all we put down here is print hello and print hello world to see that our loop is running. And we have this line of code here. And this is the only line of code that we're going to use this clock variable. And so if you put clock.tick 60, what that does is it limits the number of iterations the while loop can run to 60 times a second. So, again, they say that 60 frames a second is the fastest that the human eye could distinguish. So let's go ahead and put that to 60. Of course, you can bring it down to 2 frames a second, which would make the game extremely slow, right? Or you can boost that up to 200 if you feel that that's needed. But let's go ahead and just take a look and see how this runs. So now I run it, and our screen, which used to just flash onto the screen and disappear because our program ended, now runs forever. And if you look down here in the output, you can see that's printing out "Hello World" because we have it inside of the while loop. Right? And so now the only way that we can close the game, you can't even hit this little red button, which usually you can do. The only way to close the game, because we have the spinning ball of death, as it should be, because this while loop is forever, it's running forever, so we're basically breaking our program. If you remember with Carol, if we had a while loop that ran forever, it broke your browser and it was unresponsive. That's what's happening here. And that's what happens in every video game. You have a while loop that goes forever, and it keeps on going until you finish your game. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to end it by stopping the execution of the program in PyCharm by hitting this stop button. So there we go.